Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters.
Welcome to the Heels Forever podcast. My name is Kenny. Here with me is my co-host Brody James. Brody, we got a lot to cover today. It's been a pretty great week as far as Raw and Smackdown go. How you feeling today going into Royal Rumble season with the storylines we've been given and how great they've been playing on TV?
I think they're doing well. I think it. I'm not going to talk about it now in December. Let's see what happens in February. But I think that they have the right stable to go forward and the right roster of guys to go forward and really make Mania season heat, like one of the more better ones we've seen in the last decade.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part too, because usually when you're watching Raw, even SmackDown as well, even though it's only a 2-hour show, so you kind of get a better lineup when it comes to that. But a lot of times there's just these kind of filler matches and things that don't really catch your eye or keep you interested. But as far as this week goes, I mean, Raw was fantastic. SmackDown, which when we get into that, I think that was one of the better episodes I've seen in a while as well. So yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about where it's going as far as Royal Rumble season into WrestleMania, and just praying that they can keep up with the level that they've been giving us.
I agree, bro. 100%.
All right, so breaking it down from last Monday's Raw, he had the show open up. Drew McIntyre comes out to the ring, Sammy as well. They engage in some words, leads to a match. This one, it was a very good match in my opinion. Like I said, I love Sammy. I could easily see him being the champion. Same kind of
His
goes for
time will
Drew.
come. His time will
Yeah,
come.
yeah, for sure. But this match was great. There's an injury that appeared to have happened. Um, I've heard that Sami Zayn has requested some time off for a little while.
I heard
So
that
they
too. I
kind
seen it
of
on X.
wrote him off, so to speak. But that's the only thing that I'm kind of curious about. You position Sammy into this kind of run going into the biggest time of the year for wrestling, and I'm wondering, are we going to see him take off until the Royal Rumble and then kind of make an appearance there, or it just doesn't make sense. Like, I get it, the guy deserves the time off, rightfully so, but when you have these kind of storylines going and now you're just going to have that blank space, that's kind of what we've been talking about lately, where you've got too many gears moving at the same time around the same thing. So I'm kind of curious to see how it goes, but I think at this point, and tell me how you feel about this, but I kind of think this is where we're going to see more of a focus on McIntyre again, unfortunately, moving into the Rumble. Do you think it's going to be like a situation where he's going to end up going with Rollins again, or do you kind of think CM Punk's going to have that locked up?
As far as at the Rumble or like the next
Yeah,
PLE?
at the Rumble.
I don't know. I hope we don't get them at the Rumble. I mean, I don't mind Drew and Seth again at the Rumble, or whoever, someone else and Seth at the Rumble, like Jey Uso and Seth again at the Rumble. Like, I'm cool with that, but
Oh, 100%. And we'll
that
definitely
would
get into
be,
that a little
yeah.
bit later, but yeah, I would not mind that at all.
I don't know. I
But
think Drew McIntyre needs to be down there having matches with Gunther, bro. That's
I
what
agree. I think that would be a very good matchup as far as these matchups go. And excuse me. But at the same time, like, I honestly don't want to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins until Mania. I feel
Correct.
like doing it at the Rumble, or it's going to do a disservice because you're not giving time to, yeah, these guys hate each other, but I want to see more of it. And especially the way that CM Punk was cooking him on SmackDown. I don't know if you saw it or not, but bro, I
I
was
did,
like,
of
no,
course, bro.
no, he did not go there. But at the same time, I'm like, you know
Oh,
what?
bro, they're gonna do
I'm here
that. They're
for it.
gonna do that. They have to.
Yeah, and that's the thing too that's kind of got me excited because I know deep down like both these guys fucking hate each other and they're still able to kind of put the into the show. So for me, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking run it. Let's do it. But at the same time, I don't want it too soon.
Yeah, and I don't want it oversaturated either. The way we got Seth and Cody for like fucking 4 months, like let it breathe a little bit. Do the match of Mania, best man win, whatever, etc. Then maybe we see it again, cooks up again, come Survivor Series when something else is mixed in with it. I don't want to see it 4 times in 4 months, like, and then that's it. Like,
Yeah, and I would be fine if they kind of just kept it at the couple mic spots here and there, just kind of taking shots at each other. I don't even need to see them in a ring together until Mania. For me, I feel like kind of the same thing with LA Knight. Like it should have never happened as soon as it did, and it kind of fucked everything up in the grand scheme of things that they had. So just hoping they play it right so we don't, get it too soon and then we're over it, but also we don't get it too much that we don't want it anymore.
I agree. I agree, bro. It's going to be the key to having all of these top talents in the right place at the right time is how they're going to juggle this over the next year or two. I think they will, and it'll be fine. But some people need to be able to like work with fucking Gunther or need to be able to like work with Austin Theory and kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I said before, bro, if they could strengthen the belts underneath these two that are holding the top, it'll make everything all the more better. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, and I kind of think they have a good situation there too as well because, you build all these storylines around the heavyweight championship, but obviously all these guys can't fucking win it. So they're getting that push, even if they don't end up with the main title, but they end up with the IC or the US, like it's still going to be something because these people are going to care about who the fuck has the belt. So pretty excited about it. I think they're going in the right direction. I also think now that they've kind of said that they were going to back off house shows a little bit, I feel like that's going to give better
I
quality
seen that.
to the main shows because you're not going to have these guys basically, working 300 days out of the year anymore. So, they
100%. These
should be
wrestlers are going to be
refreshed.
fresh, bro. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
That's how I feel about it too. So I feel like we're going to get an overall better product as much as I hate it because I love going to the house shows, but at the same time, I only go to a couple of them every couple of years. So not too mad about it. It does suck for the people that don't really get the opportunity to go to the bigger shows, but it is what it is. Um, Moving forward, next up on Raw, we did have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. To me, this was again, don't like Nia Jax, but I don't care for Shayna either. This was probably the only part of the show that I was kind of tuned out on. The only thing that I can say about this one is they did kind of set up Nia Jax and Becky Lynch moving forward, which I don't know if we really need to see it, but it's
Again.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I kind of think, they're obviously going to try to keep running off oh, you punched her in the face and, same song and dance that we've seen.
Yeah, of course. And it builds Becky back up to like big main event status too, because Nia Jax is an animal, and I like it. I
Yeah.
don't mind it.
And that's kind of something I've been waiting for a while too, because I feel like no one has had a bigger fall from the top as quick as Becky Lynch did. Like,
Yeah, bro. It's
you
almost
know,
like they were scared of her. I have no idea.
she
That's
was like
crazy.
in the number one spot. And now all of a sudden, after having the baby and coming back, it's like, man, she can't catch a break. Like, I feel like she's in a bunch of kind of almost jobber storylines and shit like that. Like it's not what we were used to getting. So I kind of hope they start building off of that and kind of getting her back to that spot because she's a good face for the company for sure.
Hell yeah, bro. Absolutely. And I mean the male crowd connects with her too.
Right.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
had some of the biggest pops I've ever heard from a woman superstar ever.
Oh, for sure. I
Like
feel
ever.
like when she won that triple threat at Mania, it's still one of the biggest pops I've ever heard.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, Becky. We're hoping that they do right by you.
Yes.
Kind of leading off of that, we did have DIY. and Imperium in a 2 out of 3 falls match. DIY ended up beating Imperium, which good because fuck anything that has to do with Gunther. I'm still on that side of it. I know you're starting to lean to the other side of the fence on it, but still not there for me. I will say I like DIY. I don't like Johnny Gargano and Ciampa as separate, but as a tag team, I'm here for it. I think they work great together as a team, so I'm here to hopefully, they get some title runs or even a shot at it. I would be pretty excited about it, especially Gargano being a Cleveland guy after all. Do you think that they have a chance to kind of make a run for the tag titles, or do you think this is going to be let's run them a couple months and then you won't see them again?
I hope not. I hope they let both teams go for the tag titles because they're true tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I mean, I'll
Yeah,
take it.
yeah, for sure, and that's one thing they're still trying to kind of build up is those true tag teams.
Correct.
I don't know why it's so hard for them anymore. They're starting the problem to me is you've got too many fucking factions that shouldn't even coexist together, and now you have a tag division that's just diluted.
Yeah. Fair play.
Next up, we had Caden Carter and Katana Chance defeated Tegan Knox and Natalia. This one, I don't know, man. To me, I I don't understand what they're doing still with Natalia. It's not really a big Tegan Knox fan. However, I do like Caden Carter and I do like Katana Chance, and I think that they should, without a shadow of a doubt, have those tag titles right now.
I like that.
You
I
know,
like that.
Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, like again, had the titles. I think they've defended them maybe twice in the
Yeah, I know.
7-8 months they've had it. So to me, it's refreshing. I hope they kind of lean that way. I could very easily see it because they were a dominant force in NXT, if I'm not mistaken. So it shouldn't be a surprise that they would come in and take this division as well.
Absolutely.
Moving on, we had Shinsuke doing his little, Cody Rhodes mad at you kind of a thing that's been going on.
Yeah, I got you.
Vowed to end the story. It's not going to happen.
How to end the
So
story?
yeah, so no way.
Oh, these guys are crazy with the promos, yeah?
Oh
They get
yeah,
nuts. They get nuts.
and that's the thing, dude. Like I kind of feel like at the beginning of those promos for Shinsuke, and they were very vague. I kind of think they were like, all right, let's see if we're gonna get CM Punk before we kind of figure out where we're going with this one. Because I honestly feel like when this whole thing started, they didn't have an idea of who it was gonna be. And then you have CM Punk come back and Randy Orton comes back, and now they can kind of fill in Cody Rhodes, I guess, because that makes no sense at all to me. But I think they'll put on a good match, so I'm not mad about it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say the in-ring work is gonna be heat.
Oh
That's
yeah,
gonna
for sure.
be I don't mind it at Rumble either if they're gonna do something like that. Like, or if it's gonna be just over the next few, maybe it's a main event of Raw in a few weeks. Like, I'm cool with that too. I don't
Yeah,
mind that at all.
that's what I was gonna say. I don't think you're gonna get it at the Rumble just because
They'll both be in the Rumble.
exactly. So I mean, maybe you'll get something where they start out 1 and 2 or something like that, just to kind of end the story for this one. But I don't think it's going to be anything after. I think once the Rumble happens, it's over with anyway. So
Yeah, and
not
I'm
really
okay with that
investing
too.
too much of my time into it.
Where's the TLC pay-per-view in December that made things heat too? Like, where's the December PLE?
That's
What are
the
we
one
getting?
thing that we've been missing for a while. I'm kind of hoping now that Endeavor took over, maybe we'll start to see some of these other pay-per-views come back, especially if they're cutting house shows. I feel like,
Correct.
you got to put those PLEs at least once a month at that point. So I'm kind of hoping they bring that back, maybe King of the
And
Ring,
put him
something
back
like
on
that.
Sunday nights too.
Yeah, bro.
Put him
Fuck
back
it.
on
Fuck
Sunday nights
Saturdays.
too, bro. Yeah, correct. Because they started doing all of this like Saudi Arabia and fucking Paris and
Well,
England, and also they're not gonna
and
be
that
on
was the
UFC
biggest
time.
thing too. It was like, once they decided that they were gonna do the crown jewels and shit like that had to be on Saturday, then they just changed everything to Saturday. They're like, nah, get fucked. Like,
Correct.
I
Come
mean, the
on.
only thing we do get on a Sunday is WrestleMania, but I don't want to spend
True.
2 days. Like, as much as I like the 2 day events, I don't want to spend 2 whole days watching. Give me the old WrestleMania, bro. Like, give me 6 or 7 hours on fucking Sunday, all day long. Let's just do it.
Yeah, it starts at like 6 o'clock. Pre-show at
Yeah.
6.
No, pre-show at like 4:30, my guy. Like,
Well, pre-show 4:30, my guy.
give me like 4:30
I
to
got you.
midnight, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's a
Especially
lot of
because
wrestling.
it is a lot, but it's WrestleMania,
I got you.
bro.
No, I got you. I understand. I
Like, it's not
understand.
WrestleManias. Like, it's supposed to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
one
correct,
day.
correct. Well, they also have this problem with trying to fit all these guys that should be in the main event in the main event spot. So
Right.
they had to break it up, and it was probably due to people like CM Punk who were like, "Oh, bro, I'm not the fucking wrestling Triple H is not the main event of fucking WrestleMania. Wrestling The
Mhm.
Undertaker is not the main event of wrestling, of WrestleMania." That's where it all started. And they're like, "Oh, word? Well, now there's 2 nights. Now we can appease some fucking people." And I think that's kind of where it went.
Well, and they tried to pull some dumb shit like that, I think, not at the last Crown Jewel, but at the one before that, maybe, when they were like, "Oh, we have 3 main events." It's like, that's not even
Yup,
possible,
yup, yup, yup,
Like,
yup.
but no, I get it. I mean, and plus, I feel like splitting it over the 2 nights does give more of the talent more opportunity, so
Yes,
I
brother.
can't hate on it too bad, but I want the one nights back so bad.
I got you. I got you.
Paul, if you're
But
listening, one night only, Sundays, please, at like 8 o'clock. That's what we need. All right, moving on.
WrestleMania or
For any of
PLEs?
them, for any of the
Yeah,
PLEs.
PLEs straight away. Sunday 8 o'clock. PLEs. Let's go, bro.
All right, so moving on, we had the Creed brothers defeating Dirty Dom and JD McDonough. I fucking love the Creed brothers.
You keep saying this.
They're growing on me each week. And this whole segment was gold. Throwing in our truth coming down with the Judgment Day. I can't get enough of it. I think the Creed brothers, they also have a very good chance of winning those titles at the Royal Rumble, and potentially having a long run with them because they're fucking phenomenal.
They should. And see the other two, the DIY and shit, I'm drawing a blank. And the other tag team we were talking about should have a run at these, and that's what should be happening at
Imperium.
Mania. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go. I know you're not hot on them, but I'm saying like just like to have real tag teams going for it. You know what I'm saying? If Gunther's gonna have some kind of space at WrestleMania, at least let his fucking Pike fucking lackeys get the fucking open show with a tag team title win or something like that.
Well, yeah, and here's my thing when it comes to the tag teams. Like, I know not every tag team can be the New Day or the Usos or the Dudley Boys or, Hall of Fame talent. As long as you give me multiple tag teams, I don't give a fuck how bad they are, as long as they are meant to be a tag team. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
like the
need,
headbangers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like I don't need Jay
Yeah,
Uso
I
and,
got you.
and Cody Rhodes tagging up like that. No,
Nah,
give me fucking tag teams.
yeah, give me Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso fucking tagging up and going to get the belts and shit. Or at
Well,
least putting over the young teams to get the fucking belts.
and see, that's the problem. You can't do that now because you're overusing the bloodline, and now you had no option but to split them up because there's nothing more you can do. Like, holy fuck. End it already.
Correct.
Anyways, moving on to the main event on Raw. Seth Rollins defeated Jey Uso. Let me tell you
In a
about this,
barn burner. Go
bro. Let me tell
ahead.
you, there very rarely do I get stuck on that 2.5 count and think that it's possible. For some reason in this match, man, the 1 2.5 count, I thought Jey Uso was winning the title. I was, and it would have been perfect because going into it, you can, like I said, you can give Seth Rollins a little bit of time off. You can still build him and CM Punk without a title. It doesn't need a title to be what everyone's talking about. And then you kind of have Jey Uso running this whole thing with Drew McIntyre. So I think that would have been a perfect opportunity to change the title and kind of go the routes they need to go to keep building this. Um, what do you think is going to come from this? I know we have Jey Uso and um, McIntyre on Monday. They're going one-on-one after
See,
McIntyre
like
had
that, we
attacked.
shouldn't even be getting that. We shouldn't even be getting. We should be getting all of this backstage schmaz for months. Like these few, or where's the December PLE? Like I said, like it should have been Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre at fucking like TLC
Right. And
with a
and
contract. Whoever wins fucking goes into the Rumble. The loser
right.
is not in the fucking Royal Rumble. They have to find a different way to the title.
And that was going to be my question to you because it's like, why are we getting this if it has nothing to do with the title? Like, especially this early with, you've had like a couple weeks of build up, but it's not like, oh my God, I have to see how this ends. So
No,
I don't understand. Like, if you were going to do that, you would have had Jay somehow pick up the win and then have McIntyre come down and beat the shit out of him. And then you can kind of build up to even a hell of a main event at Royal Rumble. And, at that point, you could have had Seth Rollins in the Rumble, have him get eliminated late, whatever. But, kind of end up in the same ring with Punk for a couple of seconds and an elimination. But, I'm not a writer for them. So none of my opinion really fucking matters. But it doesn't make sense to me that we're getting it this soon, and we've kind of went over that plenty of times. They have a problem with not being able to wait.
because they think we want everything right now. That's the fucking
And
deal that they're throwing
that's the
out. They
thing that
think we
pisses
want
me
things
off
now.
though. It's like the shit we want right now they don't fucking give us. And then the shit we need that we want to build up, they're like, nah, here, get it next week.
Yeah, at Crown Jewel on a Saturday at 2:00. Hottest thing
Yeah.
in wrestling.
Yeah.
Served up non serviam to fucking Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Great.
Pike City. But
Oh, brother.
moving on to SmackDown. SmackDown was the tribute to the troops, which love it. Definitely
Yeah,
here
all
for it.
for it.
Always a
Yep.
good show, and that's the thing too. They definitely go all out when it's situations like this with the tribute to the troops and all that. Um, the beginning of this, man, this group that came out and sang "God Bless America." I know this has nothing to do with the show, but War and Treaty, holy shit. Felt it in my
Great
bones.
performance.
Great
Gotcha.
fucking performance. This dude was amazing. Um, then, the show started off great. Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, which we're going to talk about Dragon Lee again in a second. Um, they started the U.S. title tournament. Santos Escobar basically squashed him, bro. Like, we kind of all knew that was going to happen. I honestly like this. I'm kind of hoping they put Santos in the final. I think it's going to be him and KO, most likely. That would make the most sense for
Nice.
me. Still trying to figure out this whole KO has a broken hand thing. Maybe he gets replaced. Wouldn't be surprised if they maybe threw LA Knight in there just to kind of get that ball rolling with him and Logan. So basically what I want to know, given everyone that's been in this tournament so far, who do you think is going to win? Who would be the best choice to go up against Logan? And do you think the winner of this ends up winning the title?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Kevin Owens. If LA Knight's not going to take the place or jump in, then I think it's got to be Kevin Owens.
Do you think Kevin takes the W, or do you kind of think this is a situation where Kevin puts him over?
I think he puts him over.
I do too.
I think he should get the W, though.
Oh, I think so too. It's been
That's the
far too
difference.
long. I mean, other than the
Yeah, I
tag
think he should
titles,
get the W. Yeah, let him get his fucking swagger back a little bit because he's a great asset to the fucking program too.
100%.
So let him get his swagger back a little bit.
He needs to be in a lot more main events than he is, for sure.
Yup.
All right. So, we were just talking about Dragon Lee. I do want to say the greatest moment so far this year in wrestling happened yesterday. And I'm not talking about CM Punk, anything to do with him. We had Dom losing the North American title to Dragon Lee, which is fantastic because fuck you, Dom. Bro, I don't know what it is. And I didn't pay much attention to it while Dom had it, but I think the North American title is probably the best looking title on TV.
I think
Um,
it's different, bro. It's nice. It's like an old strap. It's like
yeah, and I think
brown
that's
and
why it
fucking
calls to
silver.
me.
Like, yep,
I mean,
100%. It's like an old strap.
other than the new Raw title, it's definitely one of my favorites. But I'm so fucking glad that Dom doesn't have that belt anymore.
Yeah, I think it's a good piece for NXT, and I think he's ready to get up into the leagues too. I think for him to come and challenge fucking Logan for the title at WrestleMania would be heat.
Ooh, like a double turn.
Yeah,
You
hundred
know, they're
percent.
all buddy buddy, and then okay, yeah, I
Yep,
can see that too. That would definitely that would work for
yep.
me. And that's the thing too, you know, as much as I don't like Dom, it's definitely on purpose. They have found a way to give him the most heat I've ever seen as far as a heel goes in the company. So they are doing a great job at it. He's definitely great for the role that he's playing.
And he plays it
Um,
well too.
he does. He definitely does. And I think, you know, now that he doesn't have that title, I could very well see, you know, even a Gunther and Dom would not surprise me. Give the kid the IC title for a while, have him be the one that beats him, you know, probably help from the Judgment Day, but I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I like that.
All right. So moving on to the second match of the U.S. title tournament, you had Bobby Lashley, former Marine, I believe, right? No, Army Sergeant. So he was the fan favorite in that, but he ended up beating Karrion Kross to move up into the title match. I didn't like this. I mean, I get why you have Lashley win, especially during the tribute to the troops. But at the same time, man, Karrion Kross was so good in NXT, and all this dude has been doing is losing on the main card or
Fucking jobbing on the main card, bro.
exactly.
This
And
guy
it's like,
pissed somebody off in creative.
well, that's the thing, man. I thought like once Vince was gone and they brought him back, I'm like, all right, you know, maybe we've kind of figured out where to go with him to kind of bring him back to that situation he was at in NXT. But man, it's just not working out. And it's disappointing because he could have been such a huge addition in an asset on the main card. So I'm still kind of hoping they figure it out, but as of now, does not look like it's going to be promising.
Gotcha. Fair play.
Uh, and then moving on to the next segment was CM Punk comes down to the ring. You know, it was funny because everybody was chanting his name and he was like, yo, I'm on the 9 o'clock hour. This isn't the end. So they're not going to cut me off in 6 minutes. Go ahead and chant. And the place went fucking crazy. Um, you know, he started kind of going back at Seth Rollins. We kind of talked about this earlier and, you know, just giving him shit and kind of building that up. But he did say that his specific goal is to main event WrestleMania. So kind of what we were talking about earlier. I definitely think that it's going to be him and Seth. The only thing that I don't know about, and this kind of happened on SmackDown, was, you know, he was kind of going at Roman too. So I'm like, man, he could very easily side with SmackDown as well. I don't know, you know, and that's the kind of a situation too. Do you think that, you know, they're going to give us
No, I
Rollins
think we'll
and
get.
CM Punk at
We're
Mania?
probably going to get CM Punk and Roman. I mean, if you're WWE, you have to make the biggest match you can make. He
Right.
just served up LA Knight, so we're not going to see that again, like against Roman. That's just like that'd be silly. But fucking him and Roman, I mean, I think that's the biggest match you can make, bro. What else? What do
Yeah.
you do if you WWE? Like they're like, oh yeah, you want a main event WrestleMania? No problem. We'll get you with Seth Night one anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's gonna
Right.
create bullshit again.
Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't be mad if they did go CM Punk and Roman at WrestleMania, and then maybe you know we get CM and Seth at SummerSlam. Um,
What
that
if he
could
goes
very,
both nights and wins both titles?
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't think, especially with all the figuring out they're trying to do with the tag titles and how to separate them now, I don't think you're gonna see another double champion because even with Roman, I feel like that's why he's getting so much time off now is because he was on that fucking show every goddamn night because he had both
Yeah, I
titles.
got you.
And
Yep.
especially like it seems like they're trying to kind of wean their way off of draining everybody, which is great. So I definitely, I would be surprised if it happened. I'm not saying it's not going to, but I guess we'll find out as the months come on, we're getting pretty close. I
I
was
like
thinking
them
about.
giving them time off around the holidays and etc. I like seeing that article.
Oh yeah, for sure, and especially because like I love the best ofs. I'm not gonna sit there and watch the all 3 hours worth of it, but I don't mind rewatching shit, especially during the holidays. Like if I know that they get to be home with their families and stuff, I'm like, you know what, I can watch Monday Night Football instead tonight, or go do something on Friday instead of sitting in the house and watching SmackDown. So I'm not necessarily mad about it.
Fair play,
Uh,
brother.
Kind of rolling off of that, we had Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Now, I've seen
I've
some.
never seen this before.
So I saw some videos on. Yeah, exactly. I just kind of caught that. But there were some videos that were on X earlier today. Even earlier in the week where Charlotte kind of took a bump and had to be helped to the back. I don't know. Again, don't know if this was a work. It didn't seem like it, but we never really know. So I guess we're going to find out, as we're moving forward in the rest of the week. If we see her on TV, cool. If not, whatever. Um, this one, it doesn't make sense to me either. They're kind of still going with the War Games teams, and at this point I'm like, why? What are we building up to? Or are you just trying to set up two factions for the Rumble to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, where they're all eight of them are going to be in the ring at the same time? Maybe have the Bailey turn during the Rumble. Could
There we
very
go. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking about.
I could very easily see that happening. Do you see any different things that I might be missing when it comes to this Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Zelina, Michin?
No, they're just trying to give everyone time, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too, and that's the worst part. Like, you could try to tell a hell of a story, but if I think you're just trying to take up airtime, it's not for me. I'm gonna tone it out and not really give two shits about it. But I'm all for a little bit of a build up. I'm all for everybody getting a little bit of TV time, especially when we're going into the Rumble, where, as we know, anybody could end up winning. So it's good to have a couple storylines building up to go off of, I guess.
Agreed.
And then the main event on SmackDown, Randy Orton and LA Knight defeated Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa. Match fucking made in heaven for me, bro.
Yeah, I was down with it too. I loved every second of it.
I like that they kind of were. It was almost like a Rock and Steve Austin kind of tag team
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
They built that tension up throughout the night, and I think it was fucking awesome. The one thing that I did like, there was a spot at the end where LA Knight was about to hit Jimmy with the BFT, and instead Randy Orton came out of nowhere with the RKO to end up getting the W. So they're kind of building a little bit more tension to them as well. And I'm all for an LA Knight Randy Orton match in the future. I think that would be a fucking barn burner as well. Do you think that's kind
I
of what
like
they're
that
setting up
feud.
for?
I hope so. I like LA Knight and Randy Orton. I think what a great rub for him too. Like if someone
Yeah,
that's not going to disrespect him either, or you know what I'm saying, it's not going to be a squash. Like he could have a good feud with Randy Orton, bro.
absolutely. And you know what? Just kind of talking about this one, I do have my hot take. I have my hot take, and I think it's going to be perfect.
Okay, are we segueing?
Yes. All right. So my hot take for this week, and as we were talking about Randy Orton and LA Knight kind of feuding, I think you're going to see Randy Orton and Roman Reigns at Mania. I think Randy Orton's going to get the win, get that one more title shot, or that one more time champion. I believe, what is that, 18 time champion at this point?
Mm,
Pretty fucking high.
17.
17. And
Yes,
then I think they're going to roll off of that with Randy Orton LA Knight feud, which I'm here for.
I'm here for that too. That's more of a SummerSlam esque kind of feud to me.
Yes, in Cleveland, Ohio.
There you go. There you
Definitely.
go. We'll be there live, hopefully with the video and
Yes.
everything set up after the new year on the pod and all the good stuff coming. I'm gonna go with my hot take that Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble and beats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title.
Bro, let me tell you, if they went that route, I will take back everything I ever said about this whole storyline. Because the only reason I hate it now is like, you broke up one of the best tag teams you've ever had, for a guy who's never really on TV. So for me to have him come full circle like that and actually beat him for the title, which he should have done before anyways. Yeah, man, I'm here for that for sure.
I just think it's the least likely option and the option that like we didn't know that we wanted.
Now,
I think Cody Rhodes, CM Punk will get their chance to finish their story. But I think that like while there's too many fucking poles in the water, they need to relax a little bit. And I think that Vince always does that shit. And he did it with fucking Jericho when he beat Rock and Austin for the
mhm.
undisputed title. I just think it's the least likely option, and that's how they roll.
Here's my thing. I think honestly, we've been kind of waiting for The Rock and Roman forever at WrestleMania. To me, I think if you had Jey Uso beating Roman, I think that gives you a higher payoff than having The Rock come in just to put over Roman. Because let's be
Correct.
real, like if The Rock does come back, he's not winning. Like the dude don't give a
He's
fuck
not
about
winning.
wrestling.
No, no, yeah,
Like, nah, he's
correct,
gonna
correct.
come in, put his cousin over, and get the fuck out. So I'm
And
all
I think
for
the
it.
likelihood of that is like really not good because I just seen him at the Pentagon a few days ago.
Yeah,
And they're
homie's
trying
running
to
for
get him
president.
to, yeah, they're trying to do other shit with him. So it was nice to see The Rock in the ring while we could have, but that's toast.
Now, let me tell you like this. This is future type shit, bro. We're gonna have The Rock in the fucking White House and on Monday Night Raw as champion. Like, this is where our country is going, but that's besides the point. No, man, if they can end up doing something like that, I think you'll be seeing, if not the biggest WrestleMania pop we've ever seen.
I think so too.
I'm here for it. I am
Like I said, I
fucking
think
here
it's
for it.
it's what we didn't know we wanted.
All right. We got one more hot take. You got anything kind of rolling off the tongue? I'm searching here, but
I think Dom Mysterio gets the U.S. title at Mania.
US title. Okay.
U.S. title, yes.
So I could see that happening. The only thing that I am kind of having an issue with on that one would be, I feel, well, I guess it doesn't fucking matter because he was technically on Raw and still had the North American title. I was going to say because Judgment Day is on Raw, but that makes no sense in my argument because he had the NXT title. So, yeah, I could see it happening. I kind of think he would look better as the IC title champion. I feel like he doesn't. I don't know, man. I in my heart of hearts, I kind of feel like that US title is reserved for Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, or LA Knight at this point. Um, but shit changes all the time. Could very
For
easily
sure,
see
for sure.
him winning the US title as well.
And he could put all those same guys you just mentioned over too, and he would
Yeah,
have great. He would have great feuds with them, and they would seem like mid card fucking feuds that they should be. And he'll have a belt that's on the main roster belt, and then once somebody smacks him at SummerSlam or Survivor Series for that belt, then they'll gear him up to go after fucking Gunther or whoever for the IC. And I think with Dom, they're gonna do things the way they used to and let him progress throughout the belts in order to get through to
right.
the last one.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. And bro, can you imagine the the fan, I guess, reactions if it was, LA Knight and Dom in the same ring at SummerSlam? The fucking roof would explode.
There you go. The company's top baby face versus company's
Top
top heel.
heel.
Mint. There it is.
Hopefully they fucking listen. Hopefully Paul turns on heels forever and he's like, you know what? These fucking guys, they're kind of dumb, but they know what the fuck they're talking about.
We got to get some of these interviews on here, and then we'll be on
Yeah,
pages that they'll see.
I'm definitely working on it. And, if anybody's listening, you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up. We're always looking for more opinions and, we'd love to have some more interaction with you guys. So if you're interested, hit us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm putting a
What do
couple
we got?
feelers out as well, trying to see
Nice,
what we need
nice,
to do to get
nice.
some WWE guys on here.
Yeah, I mean, let's go Hulk fucking Orlando, bro. Let's go. You know,
Yeah, just
creep
sit
outside the
outside the
performance
performance
center, see
center.
what they're at. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Be like, Jade, I see you.
Yeah, correct. Oh, stop! Don't play with me, bro. She made an appearance on what Raw or SmackDown this week.
That is a good question. I don't remember seeing her. Maybe it was like, was it just like a quick spot?
Yes.
I don't remember because I was honestly going to kind of bring this up earlier and it completely blew my mind that we still haven't seen her. And I honestly don't
She did. She did. Hunter brought her out in a spot with Charlotte on SmackDown.
really.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that because I definitely missed when that
Yes, bro.
happened.
Yes. Go peep
But
that because that's exactly what it was.
I think, like I said, they say AEW didn't train her or whatever, but let's be real. They're saving her. You're going to get the
They're
Royal
saving
Rumble.
they're sandbagging.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You want that Royal Rumble pop when she comes out. They know exactly
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck they're doing.
yeah, I agree. Fully.
And you know
But
what? I'm here for it too. I feel like if we would have gotten her as soon as they signed her, we most likely would have been over the situation already. But now you're like, yo, we still haven't seen this product. Why not?
we
Give it
haven't
to
seen a few products in the W. I feel like it's exciting, bro. And they need to bring back a little bit more of the grit, a little bit more of the pushing the envelope on some things. I think that'll help them out a lot too. It'll gain a lot of the audience that they're trying to bring back.
Well, yeah, and especially if, Raw ends up going to, is it TNT is like the main bidder right now for it.
I heard these rumors. I also heard something like about the CW.
So from what I heard, and I don't know how true it is, I'm probably completely fucking wrong, but I heard that Raw is trying to get purchased by TNT. They are the leading bidder right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
But I also heard that SmackDown is going to the CW.
Gotcha.
Now,
Okay.
my thing with that is I feel like, you're going to get that let's push the limit on Raw, but I think, the CW is going to end up being a PG show.
All
And I could
right.
be
Fair
wrong.
play.
I could be wrong, but when you think about the CW, you think about like fucking One Tree Hill and Dawson's Creek and shit like that. So
Well, they just did the whole run of Arrow and Flash and all those kind of I feel like they'll.
okay, so
I
maybe
mean,
you get a little bit of a let's push the
yeah,
limit, maybe a TV Y17 or some shit like that. But
14 probably.
yeah,
Yeah, we're talking lucky with 17. 14
yeah, let's
probably.
fingers crossed. I could
Yeah,
definitely see
but
Raw being that though, for sure, because
yeah, the Raw
TNT
could be
does
rated
not
off,
give
bro. I
a
give a fuck, bro.
fuck. They're like, yo,
Correct.
we're here for it. Yeah, man, I'm cool with it either way. I don't mind it being on USA either though. So I guess, if TNT is gonna give me a better product in the end, I'm all for it. If not, fucking stick to USA because the show has been
Somebody
great
better
lately.
give me the old opening, bro. I want the old opening to Raw, bro. Like, give me something heat,
Now give me
something serious, bro.
the fucking Nickelback opening of Raw. Like back then, and as everybody, I hate Nickelback. No, the fuck you don't. Everybody loves Nickelback. That was the greatest Raw opening that I've ever seen. And then
Gotcha.
what was the other one? The Let the Bodies Hit the Floor was a good time in Raw as
That
well.
was a great time in Raw. Yes, it
Yes,
was.
like
Yes,
just
it
thinking about
was.
it, I can still picture the opening video to that, and I'm like, damn, man,
Yep.
great time in wrestling. But yeah, man, I am all set for today. Is there anything else you wanted to add to the show?
No, I'm good, man. I think that we got a little bit of time before we see where Mania season's gonna lead. I think we got about 3 or 4 weeks before we start really getting the kickoff to that. So let's just
Mhm.
see how they play it out on Raw, how they play it on SmackDown. No PLE in December, I'm hearing. So I think that's a mistake.
Yeah,
But
I definitely agree with you, but like you said, it's definitely looking like it's gonna be a fantastic up to Mania season. Again, shit does change all the time. People get hurt, people ask for time off, so like Sami Zayn's gonna be gone for a while, but I like the direction they're going. I'm very excited to see what happens in the future. And I think we're going to get maybe one of the best WrestleMania leading up to WrestleMania runs that we've had in the past 10, 15
I agree
years.
with that. I definitely agree with that. And I think the Rumble's going to be heat too.
Yeah, and talent's at an all-time high. This may be one of the best rosters they've ever had. So
serious.
And that was the one thing too. I do just want to add this quickly. How would you feel if they added another show? Because I feel like with the amount of people they have, especially with SmackDown only being 2 hours, right? There's a lot of shit that we have to wait, 3 to 4 weeks for. In some situations, that's too long. But I would be cool with them adding like a fucking Sunday Night Heat pack or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad. Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something to think about, Paul. Think about
something for the Pikers.
Yeah, just put like Cedric Alexander there, and let them do some flips and shit, and
fucking Dragon Lee and all those kind of like matches should be on like Sunday Night Heat. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so you still if you want to go see the guys that aren't really making it on to the main show, I guess you can kind of have something for them as well, which I'm cool for, because more product is always better in my eyes, especially if you're cutting house shows.
Bro, on the money.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening to this week's episode. We will be back next week as always. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and X, Heels Forever Podcast. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Time to play the game!